Hey everyone, Tommy here, coming at you from the usual place. Second video in a week, which, you know, is good going for me. Well, in fact, second video in as many days, so that is really good going for me. Got something a little bit different for you all this time. There's going to be a bit of a two-parter to this. Well, not two-parter in two videos, but there's two sides to this video. First one, I'm going to be talking about what I'm currently smoking. And then I'm going to give you a little bit of history. So, I'm smoking my Blakemar Love It, and in it I'm smoking Dunhill, the old sign. Remember, the old sign, not ye old sign. That'll be important later. But I've had a tin of this on the go for quite a while now, since November time, October time, and it hasn't dried out, but I've just not smoked too much of it. Smoked maybe about a third of the tin so far. It's straight Virginia. It's a straight Virginia, and the cut is, show you. Cut is like a ready rubbed, but a little bit finer than your average ready rubbed, I think. And it's quite an odd one, is this. Not in a bad way. It's sort of medium strong. Probably more medium than strong, I'd say. No casing or topping that I can detect, and just straight dark Virginias, really. Now the tin note, it kind of smells a little bit like tea, and it kind of tastes a little bit like tea as well when you're smoking it, which is really peculiar at first, but not in a bad way. It kind of works. Now, as for whether you get the same taste if you smoked tea, I wouldn't know. I've never smoked tea. But you don't really get citrus as such, or at least I don't get citrus. But I do get the sort of grassy hay that you get with most Virginias. But it does have a kind of tea-like flavour. But it also kind of reminds me of like a fruit loaf. It's quite malty and it's quite earthy. And I really didn't know what to make of this tobacco when I first tried it. I actually really quite like it, to be honest with you. It's robust, it can be smoked at any time of the day. It's quite satisfying. It burns well, it smokes well. It's not got an offensive scent to it. It's not got an offensive flavour to it. You get no tongue bite, which I know can be a problem with some people for when they're smoking straight Virginias, but you never get any of that. It's just a nice, easy-going straight Virginia, I think. Supposedly the original was quite, because I mean obviously this is a re-release, but the original was supposedly a bit stronger and like a shag cut. but shag cut tobaccos are quite a rarity these days. There's only one place I know that really does shag cut in the true sense of a form, and that would be Germain's. But yeah, the old sign. I don't think it'll blow your world, to be honest with you, or blow your mind rather. It's not gonna completely change the way you see the world. It's not gonna be a life-changing blend for a lot of people, I don't think, myself included. But it is very nice. Might be worth picking up a tin if you see it, if you like your Virginias. I'd give it like an average rating. I'd probably say like a 3.5 out of 5, something like that. It's a little bit better than average, but it's not worth, trampling someone to death in a queue for, is it really? It's what it is. It's alright, but I wouldn't say that it's one of the best Dunhill blends, to be honest with you. Very nice though, and for some reason the tin art I find quite amusing. It doesn't look like your standard Dunhill tin art to me. It just, I don't know. But yeah, if I could try to describe to someone who's smoked Dunhill blends but not this one, I'd say it's like Elizabethan mixture, but less citrusy and no perique. So yeah, I'd say it's like that. Or maybe like a toned down Royal Yacht without the topping. Now on to the fun part, the little history lesson I'm going to give you. Now, some people will be thinking, why are you calling it the old sign when quite clearly there's a Y on the tin? It should be ye old sign. Well, no, that's not correct. The reason why is because back in the day, when the English language wasn't the English language as we know it now, it was more Anglo-Saxon, there was a letter that is now lost to us, effectively, in terms of usage. And that letter is, if you can see it, Thorn. Right? Uppercase, lowercase. Now, Thorn is still used, but only in one modern language these days, and that language is Icelandic. But hundreds of years ago, it was still very much in use, and it was used to convey a TH sound, like a so the would be Thorn and an E. Now that was actually quite an uncommon usage of it, but bearing in mind a lot of people back then were illiterate. But what happened was, because the printing press wasn't invented at that point, it used to get mixed up, because it was very similar in letter to another Anglo-Saxon letter, which was, I'll try and sort this out, win. Alright? We won't talk about win because we've got a limited amount of time here. But yeah. So because things were handwritten, Thorn and win started to become a bit indistinguishable. Now, when the printing presses were invented, they were made in Germany and Italy predominantly. That's where the technology was. And the German and Italian language didn't use Thorn. So the nearest letter they could find to replace Thorn would be the Y, which is why the old sign, which would be the old sign, started looking like ye old sign. And it started to become a bit ubiquitous, and that's why a lot of people think it's a ye rather than a thee. People didn't go around saying, I'm going to ye old pub, the one with ye old sign. They didn't say that. That's not how people spoke. But because so many people couldn't read or write, what happens? People lose that. So yeah, that's why the old sign is spelt with a Y. Because if you used Thorn today, no one would know what it said. They'd be like, I don't know how to pronounce that. And meanwhile, Iceland would just be laughing at us all. So yeah, so there's your brief history lesson. So now you can stop saying ye old sign and start saying the old sign, the correct way, the proper way, and we can all start getting on with each other again. So, with that, I will bid you adieu as I finish my bowl, and I will be back with more videos to come. Thank you very much. See you later.